This additional deployment sends another message to those who would seek to widen this conflict. As President Biden said earlier, and as you've heard me say, if any group or any country is looking to widen this conflict and take advantage of this very unfortunate situation that we see, our advice is don't. We maintain the right to defend ourselves, and we won't hesitate to take the appropriate action.
This is my video update from Prague, Czech Republic on this Sunday afternoon, October the 22nd. Let's talk about some news, and let's start things off with the New World Order. The New World Order, according to Professor Biden, he was speaking at a pre-election reception, a pre-election event in Washington, D.C., and Biden talked about the New World Order that is coming and that the U.S. must lead. And this is what Biden said, and I quote, "So I think we have an opportunity to do things if we're bold enough and have enough confidence in ourselves to unite the world in ways that it never has been. We were in a post-war period for 50 years where it worked pretty damn well, but that's sort of run out of steam. We need a new world order in a sense." The old world order has run out of steam, man. Come on, man. The old world order has run out of steam. We need a new world order, in a sense. That is what Professor Biden said, and the U.S. is going to lead this new world order, according to Professor Biden. I don't think Biden has realized that there is a multipolar world order that is taking shape and is gaining momentum, and that multipolar world order is called BRICS. But it looks like Biden has not received the memo on BRICS just yet, and so Biden is talking about a new world order where the U.S. is going to lead this new world order. Oh, Professor Biden. Meanwhile, you have Trump writing on Truth Social that Biden is leading the United States to World War III. We are heading to World War III because of grossly incompetent leadership headed by a president that doesn't have a clue. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Biden definitely does not have a clue. He's talking about a new world order, not realizing that the world order has grown tired of U.S. leadership, and that is why they are shifting towards BRICS and the multipolar world order. America could take part in the multipolar world order. That it can do, but America has to cut ties with its military-industrial complex. That has to happen for the United States to take part in the multipolar world order, which has all of the momentum at this time. All the momentum is behind BRICS. So that's Biden talking about his vision for the next 50 years. Professor Biden, the greatest foreign policy president in all of history, the adult in the room, the adult in the room doesn't have a clue as to what is going on. BRICS? What's BRICS? What's BRICS, man? What's that? And just yesterday, in a statement from the Oval Office, or 2 days ago from the Oval Office, Biden told the people of America that the U.S. is going to be escalating wars on two fronts. One war in Israel and another conflict in Ukraine. And now he's talking about leading the new world order. So Ursula von der Leyen, someone who would probably be on board with Biden's plans for an America-led new world order, which really just means a globalist-led new world order. Ursula von der Leyen, she is getting a lot of flack from a whole bunch of diplomats and officials in Brussels. The Irish Times, they are reporting that there's a letter being circulated around Brussels headquarters where they are calling out Ursula's hypocrisy. And basically what these EU diplomats and officials, the Irish Times is reporting 845 EU diplomats and officials have signed on to this letter. Basically what this letter is saying is that Ursula, by going to Tel Aviv and pledging the EU's unconditional support for Israel, that Ursula is exposing EU hypocrisy with regards to Israel and the conflict in Ukraine. And the letter says that Ursula is not condemning the cutting off of electricity and food in Gaza, when last year Ursula called the Russian airstrikes on electricity infrastructure in Ukraine, she called those airstrikes a war crime and an act of terror. And so these 845 EU officials, they're upset at the fact that Ursula has exposed the European Union's double standards and hypocrisy, and they're very upset with von der Crazy about that. So I reported on how Ursula is not winning favor in the halls of Brussels over her stance with Israel, and the Irish Times is now confirming that there are hundreds of diplomats in Brussels who are very upset with Ursula. Okay. So there are reports that China is moving naval ships to the Middle East. Not a good sign. We are heading towards full escalation. China is sending 6 warships to the Middle East. China says that it will not be a mute observer. So the US, they have their warships in the Mediterranean. China is moving naval ships in this direction. Analysts believe that China is moving these ships to not only observe what is happening, but of course to protect oil trade routes from the Middle East. And we have the statement from Russian President Vladimir Putin the other day, where Putin said that he has MiGs patrolling the Black Sea with a 1,000-kilometer range hypersonic Kinzhal missiles pointed at U.S. ships, just in case the U.S. decides to attack Iran or Syria. That's not exactly what Putin said, but that's basically what he was getting at in his statement the other day. So this is getting to a point where something can happen, something can trigger some sort of an event or some sort of false flag can take place, and I can easily see a chain reaction where we enter into some sort of a World War III scenario. You have all of these militaries descending onto the Middle East. Tensions are high, and it's not going to take much to trigger something catastrophic. The New World Order, according to Professor Biden, he's going to lead us to the New World Order. The Financial Times, they're reporting that Zelensky, he's very upset with all of the attention that is being placed on the war in Israel. And the Financial Times is reporting that during a visit to NATO headquarters in early October, Zelensky found Western leaders discussing war, but not his war. Zelensky had hoped to visit Israel to demonstrate his solidarity, but the answer was quick and cold. Now is not the time. I just want to cross here. That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, so Zelensky's upset that they're not paying attention to his war. All the attention is going to the war in Israel, according to the Financial Times. Meanwhile, you have presidential hopeful for the Republicans, neocon Nikki Haley. She's campaigning, and she's talking about renaming the U.S. Department of Defense, and she's thinking of calling it the Department of Offense. Nikki Haley. I haven't heard that one before. The Department of Offense, the double-headed eagle. See that? The double-headed eagle. Right there. What a beautiful building. It's so quiet. So busy over there, and then you take one quick turn and it's quiet. No video, no camera. Understandable. I agree with that policy. Yeah, so Nikki Haley is talking about renaming the U.S. Department of Defense to the Department of Offense. It's so clever, Nikki Haley. You're so clever. How did you come up with that one? How did you come up with the Department of Offense? Neocon Nikki Haley. Clown World frontrunner, one of the Clown World of the Year frontrunners, Justin Trudeau, he decided to visit, I believe it was a mosque or a Muslim community center, or maybe both, in Toronto, and he wanted to virtue signal. But when he visited this mosque and this community center in Toronto, instead of getting his virtue signaling points, Justin Trudeau got jeered and booed by those in attendance, and they were yelling shame at Trudeau, and they were pushing Trudeau. Now get this, they were pushing Trudeau to say that what is needed right now in the Middle East is a ceasefire. That's what they were pushing Trudeau to say, and Trudeau could not say it. He couldn't say it. Isn't that interesting? All the people in attendance wanted, the only thing they wanted from Trudeau was for Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, to say that what is needed right now in the Middle East is mediation and a ceasefire. And Trudeau refused to say it. And so the people, they booed him. They booed him, they jeered him, and rightly so. So ask yourself, why can't the leaders of the collective West say that what is needed right now in the war in Israel and Gaza is a ceasefire? Why can't they say that publicly, openly? None of them can say that. Not Biden, not Trudeau, not Ursula, Macron, Schultz, none of them. Baerbock, Annalena 720i, 760i, none of them can say that what is needed is mediation and a ceasefire. Humanitarian aid, we need to save lives, we need to prevent a wider conflict from erupting. China's moving in their naval ships into the area. Russia is saying that they've got MiGs pointing at U.S. assets. The U.S. has it seems like they have their entire Navy in the Mediterranean. I'm exaggerating there, but that's what it feels like. Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, said that the U.S. is going to move air defense systems into the area as well, and they're going to beef up. I think he said they're going to beef up the Iron Dome, and they're going to move all kinds of air defense systems. But I'm going to cross the bridge on another day during another video. I want to go down this way. We'll cross the bridge another time. But I want to take you all to Mission Impossible. That's where I want to take everybody, to Mission Impossible. So you've got all of this very dangerous escalation. But there's not one leader in the collective West, with the exception of Orban, not one leader can say that what's needed right now is a ceasefire. They've been ordered to not call for a ceasefire. Now there's a document. I can't confirm this document, but there is a document which claims that the leaders of the collective West and military officials of the collective West and the media of the collective West, they have indeed been ordered to not say the C word, the ceasefire word. But I can't confirm if this document is indeed real or authentic. But if you've got all of these people who cannot call for mediation, and you have all of this escalation taking place, it means that the various powers that be, well, they want something to happen. Everything feels like it's being prepared for some sort of trigger event, some sort of false flag to happen, and then who knows what takes place then. Very scary times indeed. Look at these benches. It's like the most beautiful park benches in the world. Amazing. Prague, amazing. I think that says FDNY, Fire Department, New York City. Am I reading that correct? Interesting. Okay. So let's get to Mission Impossible, guys. Mission Impossible. We'll do one more story, then we'll do a clown world, and we'll wrap this video up. Whoop. So the Baltic Connector, the pipeline from Finland and Estonia in the Baltic Sea, It looks like I talked about how this has been damaged, destroyed, sabotaged, leaking, whatever. The Baltic Connector pipeline is not working well. And something happened about a week ago. Something damaged the Baltic Connector. And well, at first, Finland was saying that it looks like this may be Russia. Russia may have done something to this pipeline. But now, according to The Guardian, we have a new suspect in the damage of the Baltic Connector pipeline. And according to The Guardian, that suspect is China. China may have damaged the Baltic Connector pipeline. Quite an interesting revelation from The Guardian. Finnish police have said a Chinese ship whose movement coincided with the time and place of the suspected sabotage of a pipeline between Finland and Estonia that was damaged this month is now the focus of their investigation after a leak led to the shutdown of the Baltic Connector pipeline on the 8th of October. Finnish authorities have been investigating the damage they say was caused by external activity. And the title of this article from The Guardian reads, Chinese ship is focus of investigation into damaged pipeline, Finland says. Police focusing on Nunu polar bear cargo ship that was in the area when the gas pipeline was damaged. It was China. It was China, according to Finland and The Guardian. I wonder if, here's an interesting theory. I wonder if it was China that not only blew up the Baltic Connector pipeline, damaged, I don't want to say blow up, damaged the Baltic Connector pipeline, but maybe it was China that did Nord Stream. Maybe we've been looking in the wrong place all this time. Maybe it was China. It's an interesting one. Maybe it was China and Zaluzhny. Maybe China runs Zaluzhny. Maybe Zaluzhny is a Chinese asset. I think the pieces are starting to fall into place here. So yeah, Finland is investigating this Chinese ship for the damage of the Baltic Connector pipeline. It's getting interesting. It's getting very interesting. Oh boy, it is indeed a clown world. Let's see here. Politico, why Slovakia's Fico hates Ukraine. The new Slovak PM still bears a grudge for how he was treated in Kiev in 2009. Let's read here what Politico is saying. Early on the morning of January 14th, a Slovak delegation led by Fico landed in Kiev to meet with the Ukrainian government. The Ukrainians made them wait, then wait some more. 3 hours after arriving, the Slovaks were taken into the meeting, which, to their surprise, included members of the press. With cameras rolling, Tymoshenko spent 20 minutes berating Fico for taking Moscow's side in the gas dispute. It was an absolutely unpleasant situation. Fico was red with anger. It was a disaster, said a senior Slovak official with knowledge of what happened in 2009. Speaking on condition of being granted anonymity, he was humiliated. The Slovaks then flew on to Moscow, where they were greeted by Putin at an elaborate ceremony held in the Kremlin's opulent St. George's Hall. After that, Fico began to take an openly anti-Ukrainian position, said Alexander Duleba, senior fellow at the Slovak Foreign Policy Association. He said that we do not need to support Ukrainians. Ukraine does not need us. They do not have serious conversations with us. This is personal. So that explains Slovakia's position with regard to Ukraine. Fico's position with regard to Ukraine. And from what I've read, he's formed a government, or he's very close to forming his coalition government. And and governing Slovakia. So Viktor Orban has an ally now in Slovakia, at least when it comes down to de-escalation and mediation with conflict Ukraine, trying to find some sort of off-ramp and work towards peace in Ukraine. It looks like Orban has an ally in Slovakia's Fico, and the collective West, they're trying to figure out why. Why does Slovakia not like Zelensky? Why does Slovakia, Fico, not like Ukraine? And it looks like they found the answer. Because in 2009, they went to Ukraine. Ukraine diplomacy treated Slovakia like dirt, and Slovakia then flew to Moscow. And big surprise, the professional diplomats in Russia, they treated Slovakia with decency and respect. Who could have guessed that? Who could have seen that? Oh boy. Big surprise there, huh? Ukrainian diplomacy treating other countries poorly, while Russian diplomacy, well, they're professionals and they treat countries with dignity and respect. Such a simple formula, isn't it? That's how you win over allies and friends. Just treat them with respect. All right, so we'll do a clown world, and here we are at Mission Impossible here. So the Bourne Identity with Matt Damon and Mission Impossible, they were shot here in this area in Prague. And I don't know if you remember the scene in Mission Impossible in the beginning when what's her name? Kristen Scott Thomas. She was playing Sarah in Mission Impossible alongside Tom Cruise. And when their mission was sabotaged because Jon Voight's character, spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm going to spoil it now. But anyway, I'm sure everyone has seen the movie. When Jon Voight's character sabotaged the mission, Kristen Scott Thomas, she was walking down this way and she went to this gate. Do you remember this wooden gate? And that's where she was killed, where she was stabbed in the film, was at this wooden gate. And then this building right here was where a lot of the other scenes were filmed, at this location right here in Prague. So let's walk over this way. And the Bourne Identity, I think that Matt Damon was filming a lot of the Bourne Identity like right along this walkway over here. He spent the night in one of the scenes from the film on one of the benches down, I think down that way or up that way. But yeah, I think this building was like the safe house or something like that in the film. So yeah, a lot of movies are filmed in Prague. So that was our little Mission Impossible tour. Good movie. The first one was the best one. And the video would not be complete without our friends, would it? All right, everyone. Shall we do a clown world? Let's do a clown world. We'll wrap this video up. What do you guys say? Is it time for a clown world or a duck world? Should we go back to Ursula for our clown world? Yeah, let's return back to Vander Crazy to do our clown world. Let's walk this way here. Kampa Kampa Island is what this area is called. Archibald at the Charles Bridge. The Archibald Hotel. This would be a great hotel to stay in, huh? Can you imagine staying in this hotel? It'd be awesome. Or staying at the Kampa Garden. You got the Brazilian flag there. Got the EU flag, the US flag, the Union Jack. You can see the German flag there. The Kampa Garden Hotel. All right, it's Clown World time. We head back to Ursula van der Crazy. Not really, kind of. This has a little bit to do with Ursula van der Crazy. I'll work it in. I'll work it into this clown world, Ursula. There are reports from Russian media, I believe from the outlet MASH, which is a popular news outlet, which claims that, actually they have like video proof of this, that Ukraine is using microchips from Russian drones to power their own homemade drones. Yeah, they're using microchips from Russian Yedon 2 drones that have been shot down or captured. And they're using these microchips to create their own homemade drones. And this Russian outlet, they've got like videos and photos showing the Ukrainians putting these drones together, and they're using microchips from the Russian Yedon 2 drones. Now, when I read this story, let's go back up this way. The first thing I thought about, obviously, was Russian microchips. Ukraine is using Russian microchips. Would these be the microchips that Russia removed from washing machines as the Russian economy was in tatters? Tatters, I tell you. I told you I would work Ursula into this clown world. Oh, man. So, I want to get this right. So the story is that Russia is taking microchips from washing machines because the Russian economy is in tatters, and Russia is taking microchips from washing machines. They're using those microchips in their fighter jets and their tanks, and of course their drones. Why not? They're using those microchips from washing machines in their drones, and those drones are being shot down and captured by the Ukraine military that is then taking the microchips from the washing machine microchips that Russia uses. They're taking those and they're powering their own drones. Oh boy. In tatters, I tell you, they're taking microchips from washing machines. Tatters. And now they're using, and now those microchips from washing machines, the Ukraine military, they're using them to power their own drones. Ukraine's economy is in tatters. Tatters, I tell you. All right. That's the video, everybody. The Duran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. 10% off, 20% off. Use the code TheDuran20. Is that not Amazing. Is that not beautiful? Right there. Have a great Sunday. Take care.